Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We salute Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demons Kamsa and Chanura, dear darling of Mother Devaki, Guru of the world and the teacher of the universe. I salute him again and again. Om, peace, peace, peace. So we are listening to Dhruva, the great devotee Dhruva, all the episodes of his life, how he was deprived of his father's affection. Father was the king, Uttanapada, and then he went into the forest and prayed to Lord God, and by his grace he got the boon, blessings, to have whatever is the will of God that will happen, and he will get back his kingdom and every boon he got. And now Dhruva is now coming back to home after all this vision, darshan of God, God's vision, and then comes back to the kingdom. And that was a great return to home. So it was his reception. His parents were so welcoming then that the king himself, who rejected the son of his affectionate dealing with him, he himself is now rejoicing the return of the son. This means that when God is pleased, everyone is pleased. And when something is happened due to karma, God is always pleased. But our karma sometimes brings some blockage into that. And when that blockage goes, again the whole favor comes alive, as if his affection comes back, his glory comes back. So it is also indicative that God can give you everything, what you want. You want kingdom, you can get kingdom. You can get wealth, yes, you can get wealth, prosperity and all this. And do austerity, do practice, do spiritual discipline. You do the same amount of spiritual practice, two results. One can give you total liberation, and one, the same God appears and says, what do you want, my child? And give the boon. Okay, I want money. Okay, be rich in the world and prosperous, and people will praise you and you will honor you. You want that, that's okay. So this is the point. Unless the buddhi, our understanding becomes very pure, we will ask for the wealth, name, fame, prosperity of the world, which itself is momentary, which itself is not ideal to seek for, because that will bring back again. Suppose you are wealthy, how long you will enjoy your wealth? So long you are in the physical body. You will enjoy palace. How long you will enjoy the palace? So long you live. But what happens afterwards? Again you come to the same suffering and pain. So, main thing is that love God, that is the highest, and to be ever blissful in that state. But here, now Dhruva is coming back home. Dhruva's reception. When the king was his father, Uttanapada is his name, heard that his son was returning, it was as first as unbelievable to him as the news of a dead man returning, because he could not believe that my son is still alive, he will ever come back. What a foolishness! I did this misbehavior with my child, and he had to go to forest, and where did he disappear? No one knows. Wow, where is eaten by the tiger or wolf, no? In the deep forest, who is protecting? But he is coming back now. When this message came, the king became very exceedingly happy and welcoming. He could not believe that such a great piece of good luck could ever befall on an unfortunate being like himself, the king. He thought that I am unfortunate because I could not honor this my great child and I misbehaved with him, and he had left the kingdom palace and went into the forest. Now, then he remembered the words of the Narada Rishi. It brought him hope and cheer. He, means the king, at once presented a valuable necklace to the messenger who brought the gladdening news. So kings have their informers, no? They keep the information from all corners. Earlier days, there are appointed spies, no? And now also every country has. They inform what is going on in the country, this corner, that corner. So when the messenger came and said, this boy Dhruva is coming back home from the forest, and king was so happy, delighted. He gave a good golden necklace to the messenger who carried that message out of joy. And they seated in a gold inlaid chariot with excellent horses harnessed with it, accompanied by Brahmins, elders of the clan, ministers and relatives, and amidst auspicious sounding of the Vedic chants and the blowing of this conch sound, flute and drum, the king then started from his city with great enthusiasm to meet his son Dhruva. No? So Dhruva was abandoned. When luck turns back, the same person is so much favorable and running to receive him with all grandeur. Now both Suniti and Suruchi, means the mom and the stepmother, both of the Dhruva's mother and stepmother, the wives of the king Uttanapada, the king, along with Uttama, their son of the other cousin brother, so got into a palanquins and went to receive homecoming Dhruva. So everyone is favorable, all running to, waiting for his return. Meeting his son at the outskirts of the city, the king got down from his chariot and rushing to him in excitement of a strong parental affection, embraced the boy, and which had been freed from every trace of sin by contact with the holy being of Mahavishnu. Then this boy, Dhruva, is purified now because he has the vision of Lord Vishnu. Vishnu arrived and gave the darshan. So his father, the king, was very happy to embrace his son and felt purified by the touch of his son, who is already have the God vision. He expressed his love by kissing the crown of his son's head again and again. Having fulfilled his long-standing desire, the king bathed his son with tears of joy. So it is an excitement moment, no? The king was so overwhelmed, so his tears are rolling down to, this is not the joy of, it is the tears of joy, not of suffering. It is coming back home. So, versed as he was in the rules of the good conduct, Dhruva made obeisance to his father respectfully and was in turn blessed by him and welcomed. So the son also showed his due respect and he forgot what his father did it, no? We sometimes say, I cannot forget you, I cannot forgive you. But Dhruva because of his spiritual sadhana. He didn't carry any malice for his father, who actually deprived him and caused so much suffering. That's the character of a spiritual person. When you transform, you get up, you forget what somebody has done for you, not good but bad, that you have the courage to forgive that and don't remember even. That is the nature of the good people. And the bad people, if even not done anything, if you have expressed any sort of that disrespect or anything, they will go and kill you immediately. He then made prostration, the son made the prostration to both his mothers, Suniti, and his stepmother, Suruchi. Now Suruchi thereupon lifted up the boy, prostrating at her feet, and embracing him and shedding tears, wished him a long life in a trembling voice. So father did like that, and the mother and the stepmother also welcomed and accepted him, and they say welcome or return is very rejoicing. There is no wonder in this change of heart in Suruchi's mind. That's my stepmother. With whomever the Lord is pleased, for his virtues like love and feeling, to him everyone bends his head, just like water flowing to the lower level. That's a comment of the Vyasudeva. You know, when God is pleased, everyone is pleased. God is in your favor, the whole world will be in your favor. So it is all the play of the Lord. So this is the comment, that with whomever the Lord is pleased, for his virtues like love and feeling, to him everyone bends his head, just like water flowing to a lower, and water flows to the lower level. You need not have to do anything. It is a natural law. So this naturally happens. So get the favor of God, then everything will be. That's why India is a land, they don't really fight. Now the modern India is different. But ancient India never fought for any other wealth and prosperity like that. That is not, even the kings were not running after that. Kings were attacked. They used to protect themselves. But they themselves had no zeal to go and fight, because they were good kings looking after the good of the subjects and their welfare. They used to thought they are like parents. These subjects were like his parents to the father and son relationship. So king is like that in the eyes in early days. Now Uttama and Dhruva, that means the cousin brothers, they embraced each other. So first father, then two mothers, and then the two brothers, they embraced each other. Embraced each other with great mutual affection, all their hair standing on end and their eyes shedding continuous tears of joy. And Suniti, the mother of Dhruva, having embraced her son, who was dearer to her than life, was thrilled with joy by the contact of her son's body and felt relieved of all her sorrows and sufferings. The cool tears of joy flowing over her breasts brought streams of milk from them as an outburst of maternal affection. The people congratulated the queen on the recovery of her son, saying, "At last your son has, thank God, come back, though he was given up for lost." So the people, the people of the kingdom, those who appeared before them, they saw this beautiful connection of link, and that everyone is accepting Dhruva after he came back, they are congratulating them, and they are also saying that it is, at last, your mother, your son has come back, and we thought that he is totally lost. He will be capable to removing the sorrows of all people. He will rule over the whole world. Surely, you must have propitiated Srihari. It is the common people who came to greet Dhruva. So he is saying, surely you, Dhruva, you boy, you must have propitiated the Lord Hari, Krishna, Narayan. Surely you must have propitiated Srihari, in whom the savior of those who take refuge in him. God is always the savior, and you have taken refuge in Sri Krishna. No? Through whose worship great sages have conquered even the invincible god of death. By worshipping God Narayana Krishna, even the gods and goddesses, they also conquered death. Death could not touch them because they have got the blessings of Lord Narayana Krishna. With Dhruva, who was being lionized by the people, placed on an elephant along with the Uttama. That means two cousin brothers, now they are put into the back of an elephant, and they overjoyed the king entered the city, praised by his subjects on all sides. So Dhruva returned to his palace, as it were. Now 54 verses. In the city of Uttanapada, that means his father's kingdom, all the houses along the way were adorned with various decorations, festooned with wreaths, the fish-shaped pendants, fruit-bearing plantain trees, young arecanut plants with nuts, tender mango leaves, clothes, flowers, garlands, pearls, chains, lighted lamps, Purna kumbhas filled with ritualistic water. With such things, in the front of most houses were decorated. So, as he is coming, is a royal reception. It is every home on the roadside, every house, they decorated with all these festoons, colorful festoons, and it's called the. In the temple you find that they put some jars, painted on the jar, put some banana, cut banana tree. This is called all auspicious thing. So every house, even the ordinary houses, were decorated to receive the Dhruva. They entered the city, in which one could see everywhere ramp arts, high gate towers, and mansions with gold-covered domes, which abounded in compound high roads, lanes, and wall tops, dusted by and cleaned, and where one is greeted everywhere with the sweet smell of sandal water and the sight of auspicious substances like puffed rice, akshata, whole rice, flour, fruits, and other ingredients. This is the way of just welcoming someone with a royal way, throwing in the street some flowers, petals like that. The city women who received Dhruva, standing here and there on the road, exclaimed out of love words of greeting and blessings, and showered on him auspicious substances like some of that. That means it is everybody is throwing flower, throwing some auspicious items to welcome Dhruva. There he stayed, lionized by his father, in a mansion which is studded with precious stones like a god in heaven. That means he is warmly welcomed, and he was given to stay in a royal house as it is, and is studded with stone like as if it is a heaven. That palace abounded in bedding, white and soft like foam of milk, in bedsteads made of ivory and inlaid with gold, costly thrones and chairs and silver utensils. Everything is top. Good quality things. A 5-star hotel. All these things, no? Every item is so charming and high standard. It had walls, the walls of his room is with walls of crystal studded with emeralds, on which were statues of handsome women and brilliant lights. There were attractive gardens full of rare and exotic trees, singing birds, buzzing honey beetle, inebriated with the nectar of flowers. Everywhere, the birds and the bees and everywhere, joy, beating of the joy with it. There were lakes with bathing ghats made of precious stones and with an abundance of flowers like some flowers' name. Water birds like swan, etc. The Uttanapada, the father, was deeply impressed by the prowess displayed by his son with what he saw in him and heard about him. So later on, finding that Dhruva had attained youth and that he was acceptable to his council of ministers and popular among citizens, he had him anointed as emperor. So by that time he came back and stayed for some years, and when he attained a mature age, then his father, king, then handed over the kingdom to this Dhruva. And he, as is the ancient culture of India, that you retire into the forest. 4 stages of life: student life, married life, retired life, and monk's life. So here, the king was the ruler, he ruled the country. Now when son becomes matured, can take the responsibility of ruling the kingdom, and the subjects, very few points they have mentioned here. The kings, not their bad kings, they are ideal kings. So the ideal king, when the boy has attained the youth, and that he was acceptable to the council of ministers. They don't put anywhere, okay, you be the king tomorrow, because you will have to work with his ministers, no? So they should accept him. Out of deep respect, Dhruva was accepted by the ministers. And the popular, you should have a popularity among the citizens should ask, want you. So Dhruva complied all these qualities, and as a result, he had him anointed as the emperor. And he, in him is the father, the king, Uttanapada, in turn retired to the forest, living the 3rd stage of life. What is the purpose? You see, Indian society was so grand, they don't have the goal of only worldliness. Spirituality is the goal of India. Then the king renounced voluntarily and then went into the life of seclusion in the forest. What they will do there? They will meditate, they will pray, live very simply with fruits and this and that. A king also will give up all his kingly pleasures and lead a life dedicated to God, think of God. So he returned, his father, in turn retired to the forest, full of age and dispassion for the worldly enjoyments, in order to contemplate on the self. 67 verse. Atmanang cha pravaya samakalya visham panti vanang virakta pratisthit vimrishannatmana gatim. So, to explore who is inside and what is he then entered into the forest and dedicated himself for self-inquiry. He knew that in the student life they read the Vedas, they know all these things, they have in their brain. all these spiritual ideals. Then he has applied how much he could do intellectually during this period of running into the worldly life of household life. And now, ultimate goal is total renunciation. So he's now going to the third stage of life, where you'll have on your own time for contemplating on the truth of the self. Here ends the chapter 9. Now we'll read the chapter 10. Dhruva now has become the king. Naturally, he will have to protect the interest of his subjects and look at the good of the people he is ruling. So, now the narrator, Maitreya Rishi, the sage, is talking that Dhruva then married one Brahmi, who is the daughter of Prajapati, Sisumara, and had 2 sons. So, in that time, the Dhruva then married a girl, and he was the son of a Prajapati. Prajapati means the God incarnated, the sages, one of the sages, their son, daughter. And this he gradually get in 2 children. One is Kalpa, another is Vatsara. Anyhow, 2 children was born out of them. And in another wife named Ila, the daughter of Bayu, he had a son who was called Utkala, and a daughter renowned for her beauty. So, Dhruva then married, and on one marriage he got 2 children, and in another marriage he got 1 boy and another daughter. Now Uttama was unmarried while on a hunting expedition to a mountain in the Himalayan range. He was killed by a powerful Yaksha. Yaksha means one type of demonic people, or human, or I do not know, some who are very powerful and who control and destroy, eat the humans and destroy them like that. So Yakshas are some other animals, or I can say some powerful, intelligent, more than humans, and was terror to the human sustenance. They used to catch somebody, take somebody, and then destroy that, kill that person. So Uttama was unmarried, and as a Uttama means, while on hunting expedition,
illuminated beast. Illuminated beast.
Illuminated? Beast. They are illuminated at the beast. Oh my God. How come to be illuminated and beast at the same time? Anyhow. So the Yakshas are not ordinary. They are their power. But they are terror to the humans. So this, when this Uttama Uttama is where? Uttama was unmarried, he didn't marry, and while on a hunting expedition, he went to the Himalayas, as is the king's habit to go on hunting, and they entered into the deep forest in Himalayas, and he got totally lost. How? There was one species of some being who were illumined. Google says it is illumined, at the same time beast. Illumined.
Earlier days we used to save money to make job. Some person, some Brahmin or somebody, you take an underground money and then put them.
Yeah. And there are some entities they will protect, Yaksha. Anyhow, so, and he was killed by a powerful Yaksha, one type of powerful being. His mother, then Suruchi, his cousin, actually his cousin didn't marry. Dhruva's cousin did not marry, but he was remaining in the kingdom. But he went for hunting and he was caught by this Yaksha. And his mother Suruchi went in search of the child, and she was also died in the course of this search. So no one knows. That means this cousin and her mother, his mother, both were lost. They went into the forest. First son went to the forest and was missing, and in search of that, his mother went to search for his son, and she was also lost. Now overcome by grief and anger on the learning of the killing of his brother Uttama, Dhruva started in his chariot and the land of Yakshas. Yeah, he entered into the land of where the Yakshas live in their kingdom. And going northwards towards the Himalayan valleys, he reached the place inhabited by the Gujakas, mean this type of Yakshas, a category of people, and frequented by Rudra's attendant, Bhutas. That means in the journey he is getting many other obstacles of other beings who are non-human, but they are terror to the humans. And if this story goes on, then that Dhruva went to them and then struck them all, each with a arrow and bow. These Gujaks warriors, on each of whose forehead 3 of the Dhruva's arrows hit, and they are defeated, and like that there are 130,000, means 130,000 such warriors. They now joined with Dhruva to fight with, and Dhruva wonderfully fought with them and destroyed them. And therefore, the surviving people of that category, having been wounded by Dhruva's arrow, ran away, terrified, like an elephant herd. So, then what happened? There were no armed soldiers before him, so he had a desire to enter into that special place where the Yakshas live. So, Yakshas live in a secluded area, and there, before entering, there is a protecting force who guard that Yaksha, like a fort. The Yakshas used to live in a fort, as it were. Ordinary people cannot enter there. Even powerful people cannot enter because they are protected by other armies of different category. And first, Dhruva fought with them, killed them, and entered into that land, that space where there this special category of Yakshas, they live. Speaking to his charioteer about this matter, Dhruva stood there ready to face any eventuality. Just then was heard a rambling sound like that of the ocean. Quickly the sky was overcast by heavy clouds with bright flashes of lightning, terrific peals of thunder. Then, O Vidura, down came a rain muck like blood, flame, pieces, etc. Headless trunks began to fall before Dhruva. Then a mountain became visible in the sky. A rain of granite pieces was followed by a flight of various weapons. There was a rush of serpents hissing terribly and vomiting fire from their eyes. The ocean was found fast approaching with terrific waves and a deafening roar, threatening to inundate the whole earth, as it were. Now the fierce Yakshas created several such phenomena to terrify the cowardly by means of their asuric magical. These are not actually seeing that blood is oozing, headless bodies are falling everywhere. These are a magical creation by this extra being. They have the magical power to create delusion. So these Yakshas created this delusion, and seeing the magical war of a formidable nature, they had opened to Dhruva. The rishis came to pray for the good of Dhruva. So seeing that the Dhruva is entering to attack the Rakshasas, or what is called not Rakshasas, Yakshas, the rishis were very frightened, and they saw how to protect this Dhruva. So the rishis now started praying to God, O Sana Puttana Pada, may the Lord Mahavishnu, who is the support of all, who resign themselves to him, destroy your enemies. For, O dear one, by hearing and repeating his name, men easily cross even the ocean of samsara, which is otherwise difficult. So then the sages were praising or praying for protection of Dhruva, so that he can conquer the Yakshas. Now we enter into the chapter. Next chapter is called 11th chapter. Then the narrator again started saying that hearing these words of the rishis, Dhruva, after performing necessary purificatory rites, made ready the missile known as Narayan's Astra. So then Dhruva then have a big powerful, missile in the name. It's called Narayana Astra. The weapon which Narayana have in his hand, such powerful weapon. For the moment the Narayana Astra was fitted on his bow, all the magical phenomena created by these Yakshas disappeared. As attachment and other mental obstructions disappear at the dawning of knowledge. As our all the misconceptions or ignorance goes away with the dawn of knowledge, so when he took the Narayana weapon and tried to hit these magical things, they all disappeared. His bow, there came out innumerable arrows of great power, with golden handless, winged like swans. And as peacocks flocked into the forest, they flew with tremendous sound into the midst of the enemy forces. So wounded all over with these sharp arrows, the Rakshas. The Rakshas are roused to great anger, and they attacked then Dhruva with uplifted weapons. Then the warriors who rushed at him met with death in their hand. So that means that Dhruva killed them one by one. And now, seeing that a very large number of Rakshas were being destroyed, Yakshas were destroyed, the Manu, the Swayambhuva, the grandfather of Dhruva, was overtaken with piety. And appearing before him with the rishi, Manu said, "O my son, Dhruva, you are killing a large number of these innocent Yakshas out of anger, which is sinful tendency leading to hell. It is not befitting the tradition of our family to engage in the slaughter of innocent who are all good men. Dear one, for the sorrow caused by you by the slaughter of your brother, by one person, you are indulging in the indiscriminate slaughter on such a large number of people who are quite innocent. It is not the way of the devotee of Mahavishnu to be cruel to living beings, mistaking the inert body for the Atman like a senseless animal. Therefore, the Lord, who has assumed all these forms, is almost pleased with the persons who are forbearing, merciful, friendly to all the possessors of the same-sightedness. Then he gave the advice, Dhruva, you are killing everyone who are innocent. All of them have not done any wrong. All these Yakshas, they are good. But someone has made a crime and you are destroying the whole community. So a good person should not do that. That is the advice. And he says that by the power of the Lord's Yogamaya, the gunas and prakriti get agitated, and out of this agitation, creation, preservation, dissolution takes place. Therefore, time is without beginning and without end. Time makes men procreate men. He also destroys all, including those who are themselves destructive forces, by using others as his agents of destruction. So destroying all, he remains endless and unspent. He's talking that God has created this universe by his Maya. So you destroy one clan of people, another creation will come up. So it is not, you cannot destroy the God's creation. Time makes no distinction between friend and enemy. For in the form of death, time approaches all alike. Isn't that true? In everyone, we are born, we will die one day. Time is always king or pauper, holy or unholy. Death and the time, everyone is in time bound, no? Good people, they have their lifetime. Bad people, they have their lifetime. So time, as God, as time, is controlling everything. So everything good or bad will end. And this good and bad will continue. One time good comes, another time bad comes. So this cycle goes on and on. Living beings who are subject to their karma are perforce drawn after him as runs, just like as a cloud of dust is helplessly carried away with the gust of wind. The dust is carried away. So similarly, human being creation is carried away by the will of God. So sometimes it destroys, this destruction and protection happens in the nature. The Lord, who always remains the same without growth or decay, subjects to those two processes where all beings are laboring under their karma. Some refer to his mysterious power behind the destiny of the world, man as karma, other swabhava, nature, and still others as kala, as providence, or as the will of God. So this is a philosophical discussion started here. The Lord remains always the same. We call Atman remains the same, Brahman remains the same, unchanged. Without growth, without decay. Brahman does not grow, does not reduce. Atman does not expand, Atman does not reduce. The Lord, who always remains in the same without growth or decay, subjects to those two processes of all beings who are laboring under their karma. So everyone is working their karma. Some refer to this mysterious power behind our destiny, our fate of the world, and man as karma. The whole world is running. Some philosophers say our life is all flowing in their stream like their karma. Each one's karma brings us into life, puts us into certain situation, takes us from that situation to another. So karma is the guiding force. Some philosophers say like that. So as others say, it is swabhava, means nature, man's instinct. Or the people say, those who don't believe, oh, why the sun is there? Because in its nature. Why the trees and plants are coming out? It's by nature. So everything, nature is there, source of this process of movement of life. And still others say it is time. So some say karma, philosophically, some say it is time, and some say it is nature. and Kala, and some say as providence, God, God's will. So 3-4 ideas are there to explain the world in which we live. Why good, why bad, why we go to suffering, why we go to joys, no? The only reason they are given 3-4 ideas. One, the karma idea, theory of karma, theory of nature, theory of the time, and theory of God. No one can understand the will of that being who is unmanifest and unprovable under such circumstances. How can an ordinary man know the truth of God, of who is ultimate cause? So, we ordinary people cannot know God. So, this mysterious power is working, and we are in the middle of those activity. We are born, we are dead, we are happy, we are unhappy. All these things are happening. It was not these Yakshas who killed your brother, but the brother, he, the Lord, in the form of time. He alone creates the world. He means God. Alone sustains it and alone devours it. As we say, God is the creator, God is the sustainer, and God is the destroyer. You are blaming this person has killed, this person is my friend, this person has destroyed my peace. It is not like that. It is all the play of God, God's play. But as he is without the eye sense in any of these activities, he is not affected or bound by them. So God is not bound by this. Because why? You have no identity, sense of identity. Like a child. Child does not accrue any sin or any merit because they have no ego. If they do anything good or bad, no one blames this baby. But when his ego grows, then he is punished for good or rewarded for anything one does. We as adult, we are punishable but rewardable. But the baby has no responsibility because he has no ego and no one. So God is like that. God creates this universe and maintains this universe and destroys this on his own whims. And that whims is not little ego like us. So because they are egoless, he is not bound by them. By means of his power of Maya, God creates, preserves and destroys. But Maya does not affect his substratum. It is Vedanta. Maya creates this duality. There is absolute oneness, Satchidananda, Brahman. And Maya is creating this entire universe. How? By the projecting power and the veiling power. First, veiling power, and then the projecting power. This world is a projection of Brahman. Where the projection comes, it is not really there, but it appears. Example, when you go to a movie hall, what do you see? Movie, you want inside there is a light and the cheap benches are there, you can see the white screen there, the wall, all this beautiful decoration of the hall. But what happens? When they want to start your show, what they do? They first do the light off, no? And play music so that your mind moves into the movie gradually. So first, he's making you unaware. They said, Maya, the veil is being put. And then the projection comes. And when projection comes, your attention goes to the projection. And you sitting in your own seat, you get excited, you get anxious, anxiety, seeing something bad going on in the screen, you feel identified there. But you are safe here, nothing happened to you. But you are feeling identified, happy, sometimes another time unhappy, sometimes tense. What is going on? Big fight going on, killing going on. It's making horrified. Or you see a beautiful scene, then music going on, singing going on. So, this is the projection. And first is the covering and projection. This is the world going on like that. Nothing has happened. Nothing happens into the screen. No one is killed. When you see the movie, you see that so many killing going on. There is no one is killed. It is just a projection. So this is the world is like that. Nothing is happening. God remains the same. Only it is projection and veil. It's called avarana, vikshepa, to turn. It is covering aspect of Maya and the projection aspect of Maya. That we are talking about. Maya does not affect its substratum, the Lord, who is the soul of all, the Lords of all, and the origin of all. O dear Dhruva, He, the Lord, is both death and immortality. Take refuge in Him, the refuge of the world, with your entire being. All, including the Creator, and are laboring for Him like a cattle controlled by their nose string. So the whole world is for pleasing the Lord, and you take refuge at the feet of Lord. Cut to the quick by the harsh words of your stepmother, even at the tender age of 5, you left your mother and went to the forest where you meditated on the supersensuous reality of Mahavishnu and attained to a state that transcends all the 3 gross worlds. Seek within yourself that very being, the one, the undecaying, free and non-dual being, who is the support of the fleeting universe and whose presence is felt in the hearts that are all free from passion and anger. So now you went, because you are deprived from your father's affection, so you went to the forest and you meditated in your tender age when you were 5 years old boy only. You left your mother, went to the forest, and you meditated on the super conscious, sensuous reality of Mahavishnu, and you attained to a state, you have got so much power now. Seek. Now what you do? Seek yourself within yourself, that Lord who is one, Vedantic truth. It's a bhakti book, the book is bhakti, but what it's saying, it is all the knowledge, Vedanta. Seek within yourself that very being, that one, who is undying, undecaying, free, non-dual, absolute. And he is the support of this fleeting universe. All this universe is on the surface of that cosmic consciousness. Attaining to that complete and wholehearted devotion to Bhagavan, the indweller in all, the eternally blissful and possessor of all powers, you will gradually overcome ignorance and the sense of I with regard to the perishable body. So, just as one controls a disease with powerful drug, one can overcome anger, the enemy of all the higher spiritual developments, by repeatedly hearing and thinking about the truth of the Atman. A man who possesses discrimination and aspires to the freedom from fear should become a slave to anger, should not be a slave of anger, for his anger will evoke agitation, fear in others. You have insulted Kubera, who is very close to Rudra. He is the king of the Gujakas, or the many of whom you have already killed under the impression that they have murdered your brother. O dear one, before the prows of the great men whom you have wronged become a menace to our family, you must propitiate Kubera with humility and good words. After advising his grandson in this way and accepting his adoration, that Swayambhavu Manu departed from his abode along with the rishis. So what happened ultimately? What did he see? That this advice was given by Manu. Manu is one of the incarnations. So he appeared and told Dhruva that you are a great king, you have your power. But you are killing unnecessarily some innocent, what do you call the Yakshas, a clan of being, you are killing every one of them. Everyone, they didn't do anything harm. Some did harm. And in the outrage, you are killing everyone. So that is not good. So rather you think of God, by whose will this whole universe has come, upon whom the universe is created, sustained and destroyed. Think of Him, and then you don't do any out of anger. If you do anything, that is not a right step. Reduce your anger, and you have destroyed the Kubera. Kubera means who is the king of the Yakshas. So that community, their king is Kubera. So you just go and beg pardon from Kubera and just don't do any harm to them, because your anger has been now in the full swing. So that here is the advice of Manu, who appeared to advise the Dhruva. So this is all this story means. We read many verses together because it is just a narration that Dhruva came back from his austere practice and got the blessings of Narayana, and he got back. That's why as soon as he came, everyone adorably accepted him, received him with honor and dignity. His father, who rejected him, he accepted, and he ultimately gave the whole kingdom to him back. And then he went himself into the forest. And his only cousin brother who was contesting, who may be the contesting person into the kingdom, he went into the forest and was killed by some Yakshas. And as he was also killed, the mother of that cousin brother, that is stepmother of Dhruva, she also went into the forest in search of his son. And then she also got lost. So there is nobody, he is the king, Dhruva is the king. And he started now taking revenge. My brother has been killed by this clan of people who are called Gujjakas or Yakshas. So the Yaksha, he went and fought with them and killed them, and then again rishis and God, they appeared before him and said, no, it is not good. You should not kill the innocent Yakshas. All have not done wrong. This whole creation is God's Maya. So don't be deluded by this. Go back to God and meditate on Him and be free from anger. So this must be read with so many verses, about maybe 50, 60 verses, 70 verses we read. Just running reading. So we'll start, here ends the chapter 11. We'll start 12th chapter next day. I would hear about Kuber meets Dhruva. How the king of the Yakshas, Kubera, he comes and Dhruva meets him.
He is the elder brother of Ravana.
Ravana is the elder brother, anyhow. So we'll hear about that. These stories are, I do not know, these are very fascinating to some people, but we do not.
Because they are all related. Yakshas, Ravana is a Rakshasa. So Rakshasa, Yakshas, Nagas, they are all related people.
That means there is a different types. Actually they are not, Naga means the snake clan. Actually they are not snakes. But there were some clan of people in the prehistoric time. They look like snakes, or their features, physical features or something.
They were very much attached to money, so that is why that Asuric tendency they could not conquer. So they all belong to that Asura category. So this Nagas, we have the stories like that. Underground used to put the money. The Nagas are taking care
Protecting
of
her.
Yakshas are also doing the same thing. Kubera is also holding the money. Ravana,
Money holders. Money holders, there are people who all collect the fund and protect it. How to protect? So you keep the money in a place and put many snakes over there. What will happen? Out of fear of snake, no one will go to touch that money. But it does not go to anyone's good use. Neither the person who is hiding the money that way enjoys, neither other people enjoys. No, that's why it is called the hoarders of money.
So that
anyhow.
Sculptured person from Shantiniketan, Ramkinkar beach, he made the statue of Yaksha and Yakshi, and that one is placed in front of Indian Reserve Bank in Delhi.
Achha. Okay, so we end here, and it is not, I could not make it enjoyable to you all, but still it is a story. We are reading the Bhagavat, what is written there, to know what is said in the Bhagavat. And there is human nature. The hoarders they hoard money, wealth, jewel, everything, no? They don't use for themselves ever. Neither others enjoy. Most of the rich people's money, as I say, where is the money of the rich people?
Banks.
In the banks. Where your all gold and jewelry you keep in the vault. How much you use in your body? Even billionaire has tons of gold, no? So, do they wear in their body and walk in the street? No. But they think that I have so much gold in my bank. I have so much ornament and gem and this and that in the vault. The hoarders. So, that is one type of mentality. Is talking about that people are different mentality. Some people like a monk, they don't hoard anything, not even a water pot, drinking water pot. Some monks are there, just his body. They smear their body with the gases, lie down wherever there is possible, and then hungry, you go and stand before someone, give something, eat something, and then you want to thirsty, you go and drink water in your palm. No glass, no container, nothing. So that is one type of joy, and there is another type of joy. So he says, no, think of the foundation of all this creation, that is God, the Absolute, Satchidananda. Now our Nishan is questioning, are there still Rakshasas and Yakshas and Nagas in the world? I do not know, but maybe these Yakshas and Rakshasas are taking a different human form. Now we see there are hoarders who hoard wealth, money, prosperity. The whole community is dying, but they keep their money in their vault, no? How many people are in difficult situation, is only thinking of little food, hungry, homeless, no? And there are billionaires are there, they do not know how to spend the money.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
It seems to me that this is similar to the concept of reptilians.
Louder?
It seems like it's similar to the concept of reptilians that people talk about
Right.
with regards to the elite.
That's the point. And we are different mentalities. We are constituted differently, no? Someone is a giving nature, someone is hoarding nature. So, I think that there are in a different form, the hoarding or not hoarding, like that nature. And that nature is always there, everywhere in the human society. All varied types of people in varied status, their mental attitudes and approaches are different. The question is coming, how did Dhruva feel inclined to kill even after having attained God's vision? So, what is the solution to avoid such missteps? God did guide Dhruva to not to kill. Here is a situation, yes. It is Dhruva was first of all you understand, Dhruva is not a ordinary Brahmin or he is not belonging to the business class, or not belonging to the service class, service-oriented life, in the poor caste system, no? According to the quality. So Dhruva was not a Brahmin by born. He was a Kshatriya, he was a warrior, fighter. So when his brother was taken and killed, no? Naturally as a king, he should have to just fight against it. So there comes the dharma. And Dhruva was performing that dharma. But sometimes they get mixed up. You are performing your dharma, that person punish that person who has really did something wrong. When you cannot go to punish unnecessarily good people, no, who have not done anything. That is not the dharma of a king. So that has been reminded that as a dharma you should have to follow this. Do your duties. So first of all, even God realized, but he became the king again. If you play in the role of the king, you will have to perform the role as the king should perform. So therefore, those actions, though he is realized, but he did this duty, because he is now being the king of the country and protection of the good people and destruction of the wrong. So he is to work that way. How do you compare Arjuna being taught to battle and kill with dispassion as opposed to Dhruva killing excessively with anger in his heart? Yeah, if it is anger is something wrong. When we are angry, what we do, we all do wrong things. Because mind is not settled, purpose is not forgotten. When you are angry, you do not know what you are saying. You should not say such things. A man of your dignity should not behave that way. But when we become angry, we lose our all senses. So what Dhruva was doing, anger came. Duty, one thing. If it's a duty, find out the culprit, punish him. No, that's the king's duty. But out of anger, he is forgetting that duty. He is taking an extra step. And that is harmful for the society. That's the point. Whereas Arjuna is being advised, you fight is in nature, because they are all enemy to the society, these people who are your opponents. The names of those people are terror to the good people in those areas, in those time of Arjuna. So Duryodhana, Dushasana, what is their character? How can a very polite society disrobe his sister-in-law in the courthouse? Could you believe that? Would that type of person should not be punished? His dignified society, his own family member, own cousin, and then a respected lady, he bring her in the courthouse and disrobe her. So that's the point. Here, to destroy that evil tendency, to set an ideal in the society, kings should have to take action. And that will people will remember, oh, this is the consequence of this bad act. So I think that was the reason Arjuna was being taught, you do your duty, though it is hard for you, but don't identify or keep with anger. It is not anger, but it is justification of your duty. Duty and anger are different. Dutifully, you do something what is right to do. And anger, you do not know what you are doing, right or wrong. You think that you are doing right, but you are doing wrong because you are not in proper frame of mind. So I think that Arjuna is doing a different thing, because he has, God Krishna has told that get out of your ego, selflessly, serving as duty. Not for anger, not for hatred, not from any other issue, But for being a king, and your legitimate duty is this, and by following that, you will realize God. That is the beautiful idea of the Bhagavad Gita. But you need not have to be, everyone need not have to be a monk. Everyone need not to be a Brahmin. I am a Kshatriya, okay, I remain in my Kshatriya nature. But what is the right type of Kshatriya will be fighting for just cause. Brahmin, right type of Brahmin will be following the scriptures, reading the scripture, meditating on that, doing the morning, evening, noontime, thinking of God, Trishandha, all these characteristics, study of the scriptures, exponent of the scriptures, talking with others about God. These are Brahminic quality. Shudra quality. You need not have to study so much. You just do your duty as building houses, construction, this and that. That's a duty. You do that sincerely and thinking I am serving God, you will realize God. So this is not that only Brahmins will realize God, or they cannot realize God. Everyone will realize God. Sve, Sve, that's a Bhagavad Gita, beautiful verse, 18th chapter, it is. Sve, Sve, karmani abhirata, samsiddhing labhate nara. Arjuna said, like Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna says, Sve, Sve, karmani, your own karma, according to your own tendency, whatever is there, purify it, only egoless. No intention, bad intention, as a duty. Sve se karmani abhirato, if you get engaged in your own karma, abhirato, samsiddhing labhate nara. Siddhi means success. Samsiddhi means highest success can be achieved by human being. Swakarmana tam abharcha, by your own karma. Whatever your karma, you are giving the dharma, you are giving a karma. What is karma? Cooking karma. And someone is giving the karma of managing some estate, that's a karma. A teacher is given a karma of teaching. A student given a karma to study. You do every karma. Swakarmana, by your own karma. Abhyarcha, by worshipping, thinking I am offering to God. This is my service to God. If you think that way, Swakarmana tam abhyarcha, siddhing bindatin manava. Manava, the human, any human personality will attain God realization, attain his success, purpose of life will be fulfilled. So that is the idea that Arjuna was being taught. I am quoted from Gita, Bhagavad Gita. And here, that ideal was not working because there is anger came into the picture. Then you forget your dharma. Dharma is, you are a king, protect the innocent, punish the person who has done something wrong. Don't touch innocent person who have not done anything, maybe in their group. So these are justification of right type of duty. Fulfilling our duty rightly, that is enough. So it is not contradictory what Arjuna was taught and what Dhruva has been instructed. It's the same. Okay, so thank you all, and we'll hope to see you in 7:30 class today. What is the class? Santi Gita. Okay, thank you. Jai Ma. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.